Mr. Chancellor, the Eminent Service Award recognizes individuals who have made outstanding contributions to the life of the university above and beyond excellence in carrying out their employment or volunteer responsibilities. It's presented on behalf of the Board of Governors, acting on the recommendation of the Senate. Mr. Chancellor, I call upon Professor James Neufeld, who will introduce Professor Gordon Johnson. I didn't see you.
Mr. Chancellor, Gordon Johnson has been my good friend for over 40 years. So in presenting him to you for this Eminent Service Award, I can't be formal or impersonal. During the time that Gordon and I worked together at Trent, in the English department and in various senior administrative jobs, I often called on him for help. Though I asked him to do hard things, jobs I found too tough, or, to be honest, that I was afraid to handle by myself, he never let me down. I realize now that in all these things he was serving the university, but he didn't make it seem like service. He was just helping out a friend. So he never made me feel that I owed him something in return, and worse luck for him, he never really had the chance to turn me down. I wasn't the only one around Trent who was asking Gordon for help, and he responded to all requests as though they came from a friend. If he was needed, then he would be useful. It made him invaluable to us and vulnerable to us. The list of his acts of friendship to Trent is long. Gordon served as head of Autonomy College and as acting chair of the English department on several occasions. He chaired committees, special task forces, and advisory panels, and served on even more than he chaired. He organized tributes and special celebrations for the university and for individuals in it. They weren't glamorous jobs, but they weren't easy either, and they needed to be done if the university was to function well, and more important, to have a human side to its character. Gordon sacrificed a lot of his own time and his own projects to do these jobs, but invariably he made new friends out of the people he came into contact with. He never threw his weight around. Instead, he threw his weight behind the jobs that needed doing. Over 40 years of helping to build this university, Gordon became trusted as our wise counselor and elder statesman. There are many people on this platform today, among Trent's graduating students, among Trent's employees, and among its senior administration, who have trusted him with their confidences and benefited from his advice. One group in particular received mentorship from Gordon that has changed their lives forever. An extraordinary group of aspiring poets. Gordon always referred to them as the gang, who trusted him to read their work and give them his honest criticism. Honest, but also patient and tactful. Gordon's starting point was always, there are things here that I like. Now, how can you make it better? It was time-consuming work, well outside his regular duties, that took precious energy away from his own writing. More work for him, less time for himself, more friendships made. The gang has left Trent, but still keep in touch with Gordon, and word of their activities gets back. In these hard times in Canadian publishing, when an accomplished poet is lucky to get 1 or 2 poems accepted in a magazine or online journal, 2 of the gang have already published entire collections of their poems with major Canadian houses, and a 3rd has his coming out soon. One of them was nominated for Canada's Griffin Prize for Poetry for his first published collection, an almost unheard of accomplishment. If a Trent school of poets is developing in Canadian letters, as seems to be the case, It's in large part because of Gordon's quiet friendship, his service to the people who needed him, to those he could help. It's good that Trent has an award for eminent service. This university has been luckier than most in the number of employees who have given its service far beyond their basic obligations, and we will be honoring a number of them at our convocation ceremonies this year. But in Gordon Johnson, I think we have to recognize someone special, even among this special group. His service has made him a friend of Trent, a friend of 40 years standing. And now that he is retiring, I don't think Trent will ever find a friend more faithful or more true.